everyone. In our last video we have discussed about chrysophytes and dinoflagellates. In this video we are going to discuss about euglenoid, slime molds, that is fungus animal, and protozoans. So the characteristic features of euglenoid we are going to discuss. Majority are fresh water found in stagnant water. Okay, they may found in stagnant water. Instead of a cell wall, means they are not having cell wall, they are going to have protein layer which is known as a pellicle. So as if we know that euglenoids have a flexible body, so instead of cell wall is a stiff and hard covering, but they do not have a cell wall, they have a protein layer, that is a pellicle, and as well as they have a flexible body. It means that this pellicles gives the flexible appearance to the body. Means due to this pellicle protein, body is flexible. They have two flagella. Next point is they have two flagella. In dinoflagellate also we have discussed about dino means two. They have two flagella, but here we have discussed in euglenoid they have two flagella, but one flagella is functional and one is shorter. Means we are going to discuss about it. One flagella is long and another flagella is short. Means if we see the structure of euglenoid, then one flagella is longer and one flagella is shorter. Next, mixotropic mode of nutrition. Means mixotropic mode of nutrition, it is a mixture of two type of mode of nutrition, means photosynthetic as well as heterotropic. If sunlight is available, they are going to perform photosynthetic autotrophs, or they are going to perform photosynthesis, and if there is absence of sunlight, they are going to be heterotrophs, means they are going to feed on another living organism. Hence, it is called as a mixotropic mode of nutrition. Next, pigment of euglenoids are same as that in the higher plants. Means as we know that the higher plants contain chlorophyll pigment A, B, C and xanthophylls. So we can write here chlorophyll pigment A, chlorophyll pigment B, C and xanthophyll. Example, Euglena and Packers. The two organisms they have given in the textbook, that is Euglena and Packers. Now we are going to discuss about the slime molds, means fungus animal. Now we are going to discuss about slime molds. Now saprophytic protists. Saprophytic protists means they are going to feed on decay and dead matter. We can also call it as a fungus animal, or else we can also call it as a chlorophyllus. Distributed in damp and shady places, the body moves along with decaying twig and leaves engulfing organic material. As it is a organism which are going to feed on dead and decay matter, they are going to move with it. If the condition is suitable, they are going to form an aggregated body known as a plasmodium. Means plasmodium, it is an aggregated body which is going to move several feet. And it is known as a plasmodium because it is going to have number of nuclei in their cell. If there is one nucleus, then we are going to call it as a nucleus, but there are number of nuclei. Okay, so this body is known as a plasmodium and it's going to move several feet. If the condition is not suitable, means unfavorable condition, then this Plasmodium is going to differentiate and forms a fruiting body which is going to bear spores at the tips. Survive for many years in adverse condition. They are going to survive in harsh and extreme conditions. So survive for many years in adverse condition, as well as these spores or Plasmodium can move through air current. Moves with air current. So this was about the slime mold. Now we are going to discuss about the protozoans. Last topic of kingdom Protista is protozoans. Protozoans are heterotrophs, means they may be a predators or a parasite. They are also known as the relatives of animals. Protozoans are subclassified into amoeboids, protozoan, flagellated protozoans, ciliated protozoans and sporozoans. As in, amoeboid protozoans lives in fresh water or a moist surface. They have pseudopodia to move or capture their prey, such as amoeba. If they are marine, they have amoeboid, or if that amoeboid is a marine, they are having a silica covering on their body, means such as entamoeba. Entamoeba histolytica is a parasite. Now, flagellated protozoans, they are going to have a flagella, either free living or parasitic. If they are going to live freely, they are known as a autotrophic. If they are going to feed on another living organism, they are known as a parasitic. Means they are not going to feed on dead and decay matter. They have flagella. They cause sleeping sickness, disease like sleeping sickness, such as trypanosoma. The name of disease is trypanosoma. Ciliated protozoans means they are going to have thousands of cilia on their body. Mostly they are aquatic. Cilia for moving and driving food, for capturing food. Cavity or the gullet. If you are going to see an example of Paramecia, we know a sleeper-like structure, and the opening or a cavity is present on the surface of the body known as gullet or the mouth of Paramecia. So, cavity and thousands of cilia are present on the body surface for moving and driving up food. Now the last one is sporozoans. They are non-motile, means they can't move. They are non-mobile or non-motile. Exclusively parasitic, means they are going to depend on another living organism for their survival, food material, and or else for their reproduction and shelter. Infectious spore-like stage in their life cycle. They have infectious spore-like stage in their life cycle, such as Plasmodium vivax, which causes malaria, means it is a malarial parasite. In this manner, we have discussed about kingdom Protista. In our next video, we are going to discuss about kingdom fungi.